Caution, come on. Vote.
What's up? I'm Gabby Wilson for MTV News. We're here in Washington, D.C. for the March for Our Lives. I'm here with Lauren Jaregui. Talk to me a little bit about why it was important for you to be here today.
Well, I just believe it's important to be involved in any issue that affects my fellow people and me, essentially, like all the children, all of my future children, the future generations. Essentially, we've been fighting for kind of the same thing since this country began, which is equality, which is an acceptance of human value and human life, and that's an essential rule of law that was given to us by the universe, is that we should respect each other and we should honor each other's right to live. And today we all marched together in contrast to the assault rifles and to the guns and to the metal machinery and the people who support those machines over their children. We rally against them, and we rally against the notion that peace can only be achieved through more violence. It's not true, and it's just, yeah, that's why we're all here. Yeah. And I've always been so passionate and so moved to be present for the change, because it's just real life, like we're really here. There's really millions of people here. They're gonna say thousands. They're gonna dumb down the numbers to make you feel like it wasn't this many people, but this many people want change, and I need to be part of history, I'm alive.
How have you been inspired by the actions of the young people from Parkland and all over the country putting this together, being a part of this huge movement?
Yeah, I've listened to so many beautiful voices today, people who have suffered at the hands of, school shootings, people who have suffered at the hands of, community violence, people who have suffered at the urban communities, and who have mentioned, just, honestly, at the end of the day, even police brutality. Like, there's a lot of different levels to this gun violence situation, and the children are speaking out on it. And I was so inspired. There were 6-year-olds talking, man. There were 11-year-olds talking. There are people of all range of age, but youth coming together to let you know, like, hey, we're not stupid just because we're little. Like, we're not, and that's something that I struggled with a lot when I was younger. Like, people telling me, oh, you're too young to have an opinion. I'm still 21. It's still too young to have an opinion, apparently. But we need the young people's opinion. We need to be out here listening to the young people, because we're the people affected by these changes. Because the generations who grew up with these toxic systems and these toxic environments, who set them up and who enforce them, they're gonna die soon at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's a cycle of life. And we can't continue to support a world that they've created for an ideal that has not proven to work ever. Like, it has not worked ever. We continue to suffer. We continue to have mass shootings. We continue to have high rates of murder just all over this country, as if it's like some sort of God-given right. And it's not. It's actually against the commandments, if you read them, to murder. So.
And a major through line today has been young people saying that this has become such like a regular thing. This has come such a thing that we're like desensitized to at this point. You yourself are from Florida, where this most recent tragedy happened. What do you think of how lawmakers in Florida have responded to this?
Well, I believe they haven't really done anything, as usual, because essentially most of our politicians in Florida are backed by the NRA. Marco Rubio, shout out to you. I will speak to you in person if you ever want to. I know you can tweet me, so you might as well talk to me in person. So yeah, I just believe that it's kind of pathetic to watch grown men who are so much more concerned about making money in this or keeping a popularity contest than they are about the children who they represent, the people who they represent. They're not listening to the voices, because these are the voices. There's millions of people present. There are millions of people, over 70% of the country, talking about how we want control of guns and we want to lessen the amount of lives that are impacted by machines and weapons of mass destruction. There's no other reason for a gun to exist other than to cause havoc, to wreak havoc, and to control, essentially. And that's what they've been doing since they've been introduced, and that's what they're going to continue to do until we do something about them. Because at the end of the day, if we even have to be here to talk about why it's important that our children should not be staring down the barrel of a gun, we have a problem as a society. We have a problem of priority. We have a problem of understanding human worth and empathy, even apathy. like being indifferent to this is just like, what are you doing? Why are you alive if you're indifferent to being alive?
What do you hope happens after today?
Nothing is going to change unless we take that opportunity into our hands and we grasp our power. And together we grasp our power and we all educate ourselves about who it is that is deserving of our vote. La lucha sigue! Sorry.
Fantastic.
Had to do that real quick. Yes, bitch! Do it. Just get out and do it. Listen to this passion. Come on. Vote. Vote.
Thank you so much.
Register to vote, please. And midterm elections. It's not just about the president. The government has a lot of different parts of it. The president, he's a puppet. Straight up. He's a puppet for like a bunch of other people who are involved in making the laws. So know that, and know that if you have a Republican Senate and House and a Republican president, then yeah, the Republicans are going to have control. So we gotta, I mean, it shouldn't even be a party at this point, because the Democrats suck too. It's Democrats, Republicans, they all don't care about the people. The people need to start caring about the people though, and we need to start coming together and vote for people, other people who care about us.
I think also a major through line for a lot of these people who have been speaking up on stage today is that it's not just a generation of young voters, it's a generation of potential young candidates.
Oh yes, that's a good point. Actually, I am so impassioned by the youth of this generation. I cry every time I see a young kid. There's so many young women, little women, who are so passionate and so, I can just hear it in the way that they speak. I see it in the way that they present themselves to this mass crowd. If you can be 11 years old and eloquent in front of a crowd like this, that is power. There's no other way to describe it. I see power in every single one of those eyes, every single one of those faces. And I'm so grateful that we live in a time where we're really genuinely empowering their voices and we're putting them up on those stages and we're letting them know, yes, what you're thinking is right. And actually, you're not too young to think that. You need to be the voice of this. You need to be the leader of this, because you are the one who's going to be in office one day. And like, it's so important to encourage our kids to be like, this is your problem too. It is important for you to get involved. It's okay for you to get involved. You're not too stupid. You're not too little. You're not too dumb. You're not too anything. Like, you can learn and educate yourself at whatever age. You're never even too old to start learning. You could be 80 years old and have had a backwards opinion your whole life, and now you're here and you see this and you're like, oh wait, maybe I don't agree with myself anymore. And that's okay. Like, embrace that you don't agree with yourself and that times are changing and that you're able to grow like that. Like, don't be scared of that. And we should also not like impede each other from being able to grow, because the main thing that's going to be able to propel this movement is allowing other people to realize their mistake and believing against it. You know what I'm saying? Because if we create a space where, oh, it's one side versus another, we're never going to get anywhere, because like, we need to be on each other's side, all of us together, in order to make this change effectively, you know?
Absolutely.
And so we just got to leave that room of mercy and of compassion for ignorance, really, because like, certain communities don't have access to certain information. Certain types of people aren't ever exposed to other ideologies, and so we have to really get with each other on like helping each other, educating each other, but not alienating each other in the process.
Definitely. Couldn't be better said. Thank you so much, Lauren.